in the Superdome, I'm very excited to see Mike Thomas in week 2. I know that his stats were not gaudy, but if you want to read about his impact, I know I always reference his work, but it's because it's fantastic. Nick Underhill on New Orleans Football has a really great write-up on how Mike Thomas just opened everything up for the Saints on Sunday and how he opens up everybody else to have more success because of the defensive focus he commands and just how good he is, right? I mean, Nick even gets into like the amount of separation, like some really advanced stats, right? The amount of separation distance-wise that you're creating on these routes. And he's already in that last game, he was creating more separation than any Saints receivers had this entire time. So I want to see him because he's mad, right? The Chauncey Gardner-Johnson story is starting to become more and more known. He got hurt.
Even though it seems like they're cool.
They're cool. Yeah, they're cool, man. Exactly. Yeah, look, the ultimate not a man move there is to not be cool afterwards, right? Like, you have to accept what you did in all of that, accept that you got your butt kicked, and then just move on and be a man and move on. Like, so I that makes me happy.
Did you see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's Instagram story yesterday?
No.
He had a picture of Mike Thomas, and he said, "My dog."
Okay. Laying on a little thick there, CD Deuce. But no, that's good. I want them to be cool, and they should be, because whatever, it's football, right? People fight all the time. People get their ass kicked. You're still teammates. You still have to come together. It's fine. So I'm excited to see Thomas again. I think statistically he's going to be great. But if you want to focus on when to watch him, like if you're lining up pre-snap, I always like to, normally I just watch the lines after the ball is snapped. But like I would say watch Mike Thomas on third down, right? Because that is where he's such a resource for the New Orleans Saints. And that's what they've been missing. Like when it's third down, Breeze's security blanket a lot of times this year has been Kamara. And it's basically, let's dump it to Kamara, and then he has to make like 2 people miss, and then he'll convert it. And Kamara's done that at an astounding rate this year. But now, all of a sudden, I mean, 3rd and 5, that's Mike Thomas territory right there. Over the middle, out routes, whatever you want. He's going to make you so much better on third down. Watch this. When we get a few weeks from this moment, let's look at the Saints' third down percentage pre-Mike Thomas to post-Mike Thomas, and let's see if that number doesn't shoot up pretty significantly.
Yeah, for sure. Defensively, they made enormous strides last week, right, versus Tampa Bay. This week, they won't have quite the test versus San Francisco with Garoppolo out and a lot of those weapons around Garoppolo missing action.
Yeah, Kittle, Debo Sanders, Mostert. I mean, we went down the list yesterday. It's everybody.
But this is where you start to build that confidence for that second half of the season and postseason run on that side of the ball, right? Because they started a little slow.
Who was it that said that? Was it Cam the other day that had that quote that we played that was like, look, if Marshawn Lattimore plays well, this defense plays well? So somebody said that the other day. But to me, that is something I'm highlighting for this Sunday's game defensively. And look, I'm really excited to see Davenport and Onyemata and the pass rush because they've been so fantastic lately. But what can Marshawn Lattimore stay focused, right? That's been the MO on him, is that if you give him a Mike Evans, he raises his level of play to all-pro level, and he balls out, and nobody can get anything on him. But it's in these games when he can tend to lose a bit of focus. And as we said yesterday, if there's one thing you don't want to do with a bad NFL team, because even bad NFL teams can beat the best on any day, right? I mean, even the Cowboys had the Steelers against the ropes. So what you cannot do with a bad NFL team is what the Steelers did, which is give them life early. It's a brittle San Francisco team. You can break them. But if you don't come out focused, you get beat on a couple deep balls, you get set up in a couple different ways, it can snowball. And Kyle Shanahan is Sean Payton-esque in his ability to game plan and overcome like deficits, right? And his ability to overcome adversity. He's been producing basically the same stats with Nick Mullins that he has with Jimmy Garoppolo. As we said, I mean, you give Kyle Shanahan a great quarterback, and it'd be pretty scary for the league. You should be thankful that he has Garoppolo tied to him right now. So Shanahan will challenge the Saints defense in some way, but eventually, right, it does boil down to talent. And right now, the Saints are healthy. They're uber talented at every level of the football. I got Kwon Alexander joining as well to help you increase probably where you're weakest defensively. And so everything is just coming up. Like, it's one of those irrational spots, Jordy, Sunday, where the only thing that gives me concern is how good I feel about the game, which I always say, like, if that's how I feel, then that's okay. I can accept that because I do think that's born of, like, irrational fears and just thinking that it's going to blow it or they're going to suffer a loss that they shouldn't. Like, losing to the Falcons, that's not an irrational fear. That's a possibility. The Falcons are way better in a weird way than their record would have you to believe. There should be no way that you lose to the Niners on Sunday, and that's why you're 9.5-point favorites.
San Francisco is in town taking on New Orleans this Sunday. Emmanuel Sanders was speaking yesterday along with Sean Payton as Emmanuel Sanders was asked, are the Saints a Super Bowl team?
Oh, definitely. And we're starting to find our way. Too early to even be talking about the Super Bowl. We still got 8 games left, and we're trying to keep the number 1 seed, right? But that's the reason why I came here. I came here to win a championship, and I knew that this was the making of a championship team. We started off, rough. But as of lately, it seems like everything's starting to click. We're starting to get everybody back healthy. We're starting to be, fully united in terms of just the whole squad out there. And I think last week's performance set the bar for how good we can be, so we just got to stay there.
More from Sanders talking about the similarities between the play callers in this game, Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, they both call plays at work, and how they hit you, like, you never know how they're going to hit you. Kyle, how he schemes up this run game. I've never seen nobody scheme up the run game, how Kyle schemes it up. And just the plays that he called and the way that he goes about his business, he was literally born to be a head coach in the NFL, if you look at his background. And then Sean Payton, he comes up under, Bill Parcells, and very smart, very calculated, very on the top of things in terms of predicting what the defense is going to do and putting us in good situations. And so both of them are exceptionally great coaches, and I'm fortunate to be able to play for guys like them.
Emmanuel Sanders talking about Kyle Shanahan and Sean Payton as those two guys are considered the tops of their trade, especially as far as offensive minds and play callers go.
Yeah.
With these two squaring off Sunday. 3:25. That'll be inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We'll talk more college football as the SEC slate this weekend is there's 4 games on the docket.
Oh, so there are 4 left. I thought it was down to 3. Okay, hell yeah.
We will talk about them next with. Is there only 3? With Cole Kubrick, there's only 3. I lied.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.